Hey traders, Tomasz here. Hope you're doing well. This new video will be especially helpful for the ones that are not sure how to put it all together. You don't know how the strategy works, right? You are still a little bit confused, overwhelmed, and even you are interested in trading this strategy, you want to know how I'm doing to take your final conclusions and see if you are going for it or not. So yeah, hopefully this video you guys will understand how I'm using the M15 strategy, and hopefully you guys can have more clarity in this approach. So yeah, stick to the end, and of course, if you have any questions, I can emphasize enough the power of being the Discord. So myself, Matt, David will always be there. So ask your questions, and yeah, we'll give you the feedback you need. So going to the charts, I will do 2021 November. I will split in two videos to make it easier, because if the video is too long, I'm afraid you guys get distracted and probably you miss some takeaways. So yeah, I'll just make in two videos instead of one. I think it's much better for you. So yeah. So by the way, in this video, I can sometimes don't talk for some period of time because I need to think while doing the backtesting. I'll try my best, of course, but if I'm without talking for a few seconds, yeah, it's because I'm thinking. So the daily time frame, okay, the daily time frame, we have the daily break of structure. This is daily swing high, daily swing low. Perfect. Okay. What happened? Price mitigate the most high probability POI within the leg, within this leg. The most high probability POI is this one. Why? Because you can argue that this is a flip. Okay. Price push here, push down, swap liquidity. Okay, so it's a flip, it's swap liquidity, and it's at premium. Extremely clear, which means that the objective, okay, of this pullback up is maybe completed. So we need to understand that all demands from here can, of course, lead to a higher high, but because the objective that of the longs, right, of this pullback can be completed, all these possible demands can be just reaction points, okay, to then continue down. And this is why we need to understand where we're coming from, what is the high time frame objective, okay, and well, yeah, what price has mitigated, literally. Okay, so it's very, very important using multi-time frame analysis. Do not be stuck in M15, or if you trade M1 on M1, like you need to understand all the picture. Okay, so H4 on the H4, and I want just to avoid any kind of confusion and questions in the future. I know that on H4, if you mark like correctly, you have the H4 boss here, H4 boss, H4 boss, H4 boss. Okay, so the H4 high is here, H4 low is here, the same as the daily. Because that daily and H4 happens to be at the same time, I'm happy to use a little bit of this question and be a little bit more aggressive on my structure mapping. So I'm using basically, which would be technically the valid internal, okay, as my H4 swing, just because I'm focusing on the right price action. And we came to the same conclusion. And for me, it just makes more sense. You don't need to do it, but just for you, if you don't understand why I'm up here, the H4 boss technically is an internal, because this is the swing high, that this is the swing low on H4. But yeah, for me, it's much more clear. So we all come to the same conclusion. Okay. So yeah, H4, like I said, could easily be used boss bullish. It could be easily boss bullish just to mitigate high time frame POI. And now that high time frame POI is mitigated, the low, right, can get run because the objective is completed. Of course, still valid to look for buys if H1, of course, show his hand, but at the moment the objective at time frame POI was mitigated, so objective can be completed. Okay, like I said, you can look for buys, and I will show in a minute. But let's see how H1 forms, because H1 is for me the medium time frame. So yeah, for me it's the one will dictate what I'm going to do next. H1, you have the H1 very clean break of structure, and then price break of structure bearish here. After that, this for me is a significant pullback. So for me, this is an H1 boss bearish. Okay, so at this moment in time, we know at time frame objective, the daily may be completed. H1 boss bearish. I'll be following the H1, okay, until it fails. Even though I know that H4 can follow through and move to the upside, let me see H1 shifts, okay? Because H1 can, because the objective is already completed, or maybe already completed, this can just go down. And I don't want to be trying to call a reversal from here while the H1 is bearish, and I'm trying to call a reversal, missing all these possible opportunities, because I do understand the power of multi-time frame analysis and this mitigation. Okay, so yes, H4 can prove, can make a higher low, but let me see, and let me see H1 telling me that, okay? Don't want to predict, just want to react. Essentially, yeah, is that. So Monday, November, okay, 8 AM. So technically we can look to trade. This POI, okay, this is strong based on H1, so it makes sense looking for sells from here. Swap liquidity, and it's at premium. Okay, sorry guys, I need to change this. Okay, and it's at premium. So I'll be marking my H1 POI, and I'll be looking for my low time frame entry model. Perfect. I know you guys is the first time we're seeing this, but for me, M15 is the lower time frame. I will go. I don't go below M15 because I know some of you can just mark this POI and go search for M1 entries and probably have a win. Perfectly fine, just different styles. Okay, I'll stick to mine, which is M15, and you sometimes will miss trades, sometimes you'll save losses. It will balance in the end of the year. So I already showed you the results. Price ends up going up. So what happened here? This POI is a POI that's at a premium, swap liquidity. Okay, for the sake of this video, for the sake of being too long, this video, I won't be drawing everything and all that stuff. So I'll just annotate this is a sweep. Okay, so this is a high probability POI that I want to get involved. So yeah, let's see, because this is the PBO that led to the sweep of the POI. And the change of character is this one here. Okay, so what do we have here? Very simple, very mechanical. This leg on H1 is strong. I want to trade from them. Price mitigate absolutely extreme. Swap all this You can even classify if you mark, for example, when you have this POI, which is super refined, of course, and everything here is H1 lead. So we both reach to the same conclusion, but I will stick to this POI that I was going to trade from. Okay, and for me, it's like the liquidity model entry number 4, where price swept the POI. Okay, so where I want to get involved, let me use this game box. Oh, okay, sorry guys, I don't know why this didn't save. I need to do this very quick. Okay guys, sorry. So here, like I said, everything is ready, right? Of course, this week already mitigate the POI, so basically I'll be just dragging and using this entire range. You can stick to this POI, but for me it does not make sense, not including the high. So basically, yeah, I'll be just using this POI, which is make more sense for me. I prefer to get tagged in than trying to be over refined. So like I said, price swept the POI straight back down. PBL, the reaction didn't flip liquidity, didn't cause any flip that swept liquidity. We had the change of character. Entry is ready to go. So I usually go 1 pip on GU above the high, and I target favor. Okay, I want to risk 1%. Okay, we get tagged in. First and foremost, I need to know where I'm going to remove risk, and this is where I just use the break-even rule. For me, I use this POI that led to the pullback to my entry. It needs to get broken. At this time, I move to break-even, okay? And I'm with a break-even in the worst scenario. So yeah, this is around 8 p.m. I'll go back to H1. Again, I don't want to be sitting on M15 trying to find entries, okay? I want to be on H1, knowing where we are within item frame, seeing how things play out. So I'll go to the London Open. So I'll go, let's wait to 6. Okay, so at this point, it's not London Open, but it's close. What's happening here, because we can have another position. So price mitigate the absolute extreme of this H1 leg. If this mitigation and if this leg, of course, is going to be respected and this mitigation is going to hold, because there is nothing more in this leg to be mitigated. So first, I don't assume structure will change until it does, and if this mitigation is likely to hold, right? So if this mitigation is going to hold, its internal structure, right, these ranges should be respected, okay? Which means that for me, I'll be looking for a possible sell for here, if you are, of course, a little bit more aggressive, because not only swept liquidity and why it swept, I can see on H1, but you can just use M15 and see all this price action got swept. So swept liquidity, have this kind of inducement, okay? And I just mark this POI. Now I'll be looking for my entry on M15. Basically, I use M15 to confirm this POI, okay? I go to M15 and I have here the fake break, liquidity entry model number 2, fake break. Okay, so I have here the PBL, and I have here the change of character. Okay. Okay, so essentially the entry is ready. So let me the entry is ready, and for me that does not make sense because this is already mitigated here, so it's not very clean. I won't lie, this is not very clean. So when it's not green, I prefer to use the entire try to use a more generic approach, let's say, like include more candles. So essentially I'll be looking for cells somewhere here with, I know it's a little bit more aggressive, I know it's a little bit more aggressive, but for me it makes sense because H1 analysis, okay, is not about making sense on my low time frame, it's about making sense on H1. Okay, so, and again, I'm not aware of news. Something on FX replay we don't know, so I don't know if it's coming news or not. Just need to accept. Tag in. By the way, if I'm going to move to break even, would be here and get taken out for a loss. Perfect. Still valid to look for for sells, even though it's less probable because this supply already make a reaction. Anyway, if you like that zone, still valid to look for sells with this even more clear fake break. Okay. So at this point in time, I just got a little bit earlier. Okay. At 7 AM, a little bit earlier, we have the fake break, still confirming this POI, the same analysis. Again, is more aggressive, yes, because this POI can fail because we already have a reaction, and yeah. But basically, I'm assuming that this low is going to get run, and this will be this is basically the last range that needs to hold. Otherwise, if we shift bullish and we have internal boss bullish here, this high becomes weak. Okay, so it's based on H1 analysis. I have a fake break here. I have the PBO. And we have the change of character. One pip, okay, and 5R. Place the order. Let's go. This one was a winning trade. Okay, I will just delete, just to be clear. This one was a winning trade. Price tag as in. I'll move to break even here. Okay, and by the way, you can see that we got 4 hours from the moment that price make the entry. So if you have a 9-to-5 job, if you have life commitments, you're doing other stuff, or even if you are traveling, all that stuff, I think this is incredible, to be honest, something I actually enjoy. I don't need to be, stuck in front of the screen 100% focused, because I can be focused, of course, but after that, just let price do its thing. Let's see if it was or win. Break even, okay. let's see. Okay, so we are in Asia. Okay, so I'll just go to H1 like I always do, and I wait for more confirmation. I want to see price action on H1. I'll just speed up a little bit. Yeah. Okay, and price took us out for a break even. Here, price was running almost, this percentage, so it's a little bit painful. It is what it is. Okay, so at this point in time, let's do all the analysis again. And I really like to stick to it, to be on H1. It gives me the most recent significant price action. So at this point in time, we have this swing high on H1 and this swing low. Like I said, we do understand that high time frame objective may be completed and now we're going to the downside, but because on H4, okay, still valid demand to just push price higher. For me, I want to let H1 decide what price is going to do next. So I'll keep using H1 and following the H1 structure, because first, I actually like to follow that and never assume structure will change until it does. But I also know this mitigation can be enough to make high time frame lower high. Okay, so let's see, H1. This high was formed through sweep of liquidity here. And in terms of POIs, we have this very clean POI to look for sells. I usually use a buy to sell on all the POIs, but this is very messy. So if you want, you could just mark above here, or just use a refined method. But to be honest, I really like the buy to sell, but because it's already it's not mitigated to the EQ, but I'll just refine a little bit more. Okay, let's see, just for curiosity on M15. Yeah, isn't nothing clear. Okay, first, really clearly equals to target, so that gives me indication that maybe, or very likely, this H1, like I said, is H1 high, is likely to hold. Okay, so I'll be looking for M15 price action. Okay, so price is reacting to this POI that have some kind of inducement. It swept liquidity, so let me see on M15. Okay, not a very high probability for me. Okay, so we are coming late New York. We have 1 more hour, so let me just continue. Yeah, price mitigates the POI. Again, outside session, so I can trade, right? And I'm going now to next day, speed up a little bit. Okay. Okay. So what happened here? Let me see. H1 boss bullish, I think. Let me see. Yeah. To be honest, is not my favorite. If you are 100% mechanical, price close above. So I will stick with it, even though for me, I can see this can be some kind of drop, because I know that lows were formed like this. And yeah, if I jump time frames, I can see this just being swept and price go to the downside. But yeah, let's just keep things clear for you. So H1 These POIs are not really clean, so this can easily be used as inducement for POIs below. So if I'm going to look for longs, I will be looking for this POI. For me, this POI is asking to be inducement for the POI below. So like I said, I don't always need to be correct in the POIs that I'm choosing. So what I mean by that is, if I'm not sure, like I'm not here, okay, I'm not sure, I'll wait for H1 chalk to confirm the level, okay? So yeah, I'll wait for H1 chalk and price push down, okay? So at this point in time, I have two things that I need to be aware. I need to be aware that I can look for buys from here because this is a high probability POI. I'll just extend to the extreme just to cover the wick. But on the other hand, the lows were formed through equals and this POI swept liquidity internally. So if this, for instance, can be a trap that swept all this liquidity, took out the high and now is going down, if that's going to be a trap, I want to get involved on possible sells, especially knowing that this POI swept liquidity, it's a flip, okay? So, and it's a premium, I'll explain why. So it's a flip, okay? Price push up, push down. Was here, not boss, but break structure here, and probably it's around the EQ of this leg, okay? So I want to look for longs because I'm not sure I will also be managing aggressively and looking edge to edge on my position on possible sells, okay? Just because even though it makes sense looking for longs, it was not very convincing for me. And yeah, internal structure here is bearish and it can just keep going, okay? So let's look for longs and for sells. What is clean item frame H1 lead, okay? Very, very clean. Let me see, because we have also this one for me. And like I said, I also use M15 leads. So yeah, for me, it's a very clean M15 POI here. Very, very clean. So we actually have PBL here and chalk here. Okay. Okay, so at this moment in time, like I said, the entry is ready, but I really like to use buy to sell, sell to buy. So I'll be using, unless, I'll be honest, unless it's very big and yeah, risk reward is not enough. So in that moment, I'll be using the refined method. I will just, yeah, let's be consistent unless it's very, very big. So let's enter here. One to 5, like I always do, be consistent. Increase the strike rate, and yeah, so 1 to 5 here. Place the order, and let's wait. Okay, price tag as in, and to be honest, for me, the time to move to break even is this one, and this for you can be different, but for me, just the pullback, okay, led to my entry, I'll move to break even here. You don't need to do that. It's perfectly fine. Is what I'm doing because it's mechanical, and I want to let you know that frustrating and frustrated moments. Sorry for the words. Annoying moments, let's say, will always be there. Okay, will always be in all the strategies you are using. No strategy is perfect. So what can happen, because I have aggressive management, is that price push down, push up with a weak, push down, and then go up, and I get taken out for break even. Okay, but annoying moments will always be there. Without this method, and if you have other method, like, you just need to be prepared, and it's just trading. If you are really annoyed by this, first, you don't have the stats to prove yourself it works. Second, you are chasing perfection, and maybe this can be the reason why you're not where you want to be, okay? Because there is no perfection in the markets. I just want to be consistent, take my money in and out, and go live my life. I don't want to be the one that makes 100 hard per month. So simple. And at this moment in time, I'll move to break even because it's just the way I like to trade. Again, this can create confusion, but just try to understand that every person has different methods, and if for you is not clean and is choking the trade and all that stuff, perfect, just use another method. This is mine, and I moved to break even because the pullback, like I said, got taken out. Okay, I took break even. Perfect. Price push up. Okay, you can see that it saved me from possibly a very big slippage. There was no entry here. Okay, fortunately there's no entry because M15 did not develop enough. Yeah, so let's wait. Probably news. Price during Asia. Okay, so we have the boss bearish here. Oh, by the way, let's clean all this stuff. We have the boss here. And then boss here. Let's just use the daily. Okay, so like I said, and I said in the beginning, high time frame POI is reached, objective may be completed, demands can be just reaction points to then go down. If you go to the H4, there's a possible long here, but because of the management that I used, took a break even. In the end, price just swept these highs and moved to the downside. Okay, could not capitalize in sales, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. So targeting these lows at the moment. If I'm going to look for buys, I will at least want to see an H1 breakout structure to show me that the pullback of this leg is going to happen. This does not show me that high is going to get run. It's just show me this leg officially start the pullback. Okay. So let's go H1. H1, like I said, I don't assume structure will change until it does, especially if I have a good POI. If not, definitely I won't be jumping straight away, but this POI swap liquidity here. Okay, enough for me to look to get involved because it's at premium. So okay, waiting for the entry model. Okay, this is during Asia again. Let's wait for the 6. 6, okay. London. What happened here? It's interesting because, and this will happen always. Always not. It's not always. A lot of the times. I have this POI that we have this leg, okay, on H1. And you know that this is a high probability POI within the leg. There's nothing more here that's at least visible, okay? So if this leg is going to hold, this POI, okay, needs to hold, right? This needs to be respected and price needs to go down if the H1 structure will fall through. On the other hand, which also nice and important to see, is that this inside bar, okay, Yeah, I was thinking, okay, if we have a chalk, but we don't have a chalk yet, but if we're a little bit more aggressive, and when the chalk is very far away, you can play with this internal structure. I can see this inside bar also going to the upside, and price just continue up. Anyway, because there is no H1 chalk, at least I'll be inclined to look for sells, and yeah, not assume structure will change. So, yep. Let's use H1. So what's happening? Let me see. I was trying to see, but there's no M15 liquidity model yet, because this is not equals, this is not a fake break, there's no H1 lead, there's no M15 lead, so price did not swap this. I'll just need to wait. So I'll wait. Okay. So at this moment in time, price swept this high, chalk bearish, of course showed me this low is weak. So I can now start looking for sells. There's no H1 lead on the leg, obviously. So like I said, I can use M15 lead. And M15 lead needs to be, in my opinion, relevant price action. You can, of course, test and see what it works for you, but this is a nice flip, so it can work as a lead. I'll just mark here liquidity. Okay. Okay, and price went to the upside. Like I said, price ended up mitigating, even swap inside bar and move up. Okay, nothing I could have done. So now I will be looking for longs. Okay, I'll be looking for longs. This POI and this POI, but I will not draw because I want to see price coming into it first. Asia, right, session. 4 and 5, 6. Okay. So, like I said in the H4, price mitigate absolutely extreme of H4 leg. But we have this range that is formed through sweep, and at the moment price is basically putting the bullish complex pullback of this leg. Okay, we have this high, this low, chalk here is basically putting the bullish complex pullback of this leg. Okay, so at this moment, premium price is not at premium. When I look left, price is not rejecting anything significant, so it makes sense looking for buys to play the pullback. Okay, I have nothing to play to trade through. So what we have here, we have this POI that was formed through sweep of liquidity, and now I'll just mark the POI that I want to trade from. I go to M15, and on H1 you can see this H1 lead. Okay, but yeah, essentially it's the same as the M15, and I always use M15 if I like the POI and if it's clean M15 price action. So price went without me. Okay, perfect. Because, and this is where fear of missing out can come in, or being a little bit annoyed, because if you use the M1, okay, I have the same analysis as you guys, right? I'm playing the bullish move, and I do understand this POI needs to hold. I'm just waiting for M15 entry model. But if you use M1, you probably can get involved here. Even though we have the same move, you took a win and I was flat, okay? I didn't get involved. Nothing wrong with that. It's a strategy, okay? More conservative. You need to accept that, okay? This is still valid, okay? The H1 lead still valid. So price Price come back into the POI. Okay, so probably you can take a win or a break even. Hopefully you can just manage to secure some profits because price move. So, okay, M15 and H1 lead get taken out here. I'll just use this. So, this is the buy to sell for me. So, PBO. Okay, so now I'm looking for longs, okay? It's a little bit annoying because the candle was very quick, okay? It's very quick, so I'll just enter. I'll just put here stop order. The reason why I put stop order because I want to get involved at the time I have the correct level, okay? Because this can end up being, this can be the difference between a break even or a win, etc. So for the sake of this specific example, I will make a stop order, okay? Because M15 or H1 lead at this point is the same, got taken out, the chalk, BBL, etc. So yeah, ready to go, and it was a loss, okay. Oh, it was a loss, I think. Oh no, not yet, but it will be. Okay, it was a loss. Okay, no worries. So, took a loss here. Let's analyze. Okay, probably because the zone was already mitigated. Okay, price mitigate the zone and push up. So I was basically trying to play a zone that was already mitigated. Something to, yeah, keep in mind, because if this keeps happening, again, when I'm going to do my journaling, I have the notes, etc., and is a mistake I'm doing, so I just annotate and then we'll stop doing. The importance of being aware, analyze your data is very, very important. The only way for you to improve, in my opinion. So yeah, price push to the downside. Let me just analyze H4, because at this moment what we have, price mitigated the beginning of the range on the daily. Yeah, mitigate the POI on the daily. So the objective here, the H4 chalk bullish, because price already mitigated the POI on the daily, can be completed. H4 chalk bearish, so now we can move to the downside, even though we are still inside this internal structure. Okay, let me see on H1. I don't want to trade a sweep in this moment because, like I said, it's not about trading all the sweeps POIs. Otherwise, you'll be chasing losses because you take a loss on the POI and on the sweep of the POI. Okay, so I'll be very cautious with that liquidity entry model. I even don't advise you to start from with that entry model. So in this case, the daily POI was mitigated. So now we can move to the downside, especially, of course, in the daily when you can see internally this shifting. Okay, price here end up breaking. So very, very clean indication the low is going to get run. H4 chalk. So at this moment in time, I'm looking for sells only. Okay, even H1 here, H1. We have the chalk, okay, H1 chalk. So I'm now looking for possible sells. I mark H1 POIs, okay. So I know it's big for you, but I'm happy to look for M15 price action inside this, okay, something inside. We go to M15. This was the loss. Okay, interesting. Because price mitigated H1 POI, and now this is when M15 can come tidy. So I'll just, okay, let's keep this here. I'm looking for sales because of the daily mitigation. and H4 change of character, but there is no H1 lead. Okay, so like I said, I need to wait for some kind of, at least if I'm happy to be aggressive, because this needs, I need to really pass the message, is more aggressive, okay? But if I like the zone, I'll be using M15 lead, and in this case, price took out this kind of price action, okay? For me, it's enough. It's like, it's not an excuse to get involved, but it's meet the plan, okay? So it mitigates H1 POI with the liquidity here gets taken. PBL is a sell to buy for me, but I'll just use this because it's clean at the moment, and we get to the same conclusion. And we have the change of character here. Okay, so the entry would be here. $5R. $5R, so place the order. Oh Jesus, almost. Let me see our. Okay, sorry, I made a mistake because at this moment, 5 p.m. Okay, it's already 15 minutes after 5 p.m. I should not get involved, so this is not a trade that I would be taking, okay? Regardless of the result, this is not a trade I would be taking if you are sticking to the schedule that I personally find useful. But again, if you trade differently, this is a trade that meets the plan. Probably. Okay, move to break even here after the break. So break even. And then the pass winner. Okay, what can we conclude? Of course, sometimes this is going to happen, but yeah, I don't take trades at after 5. So this was at 5, right? Let me just confirm, but it's, yeah, I think it was. Oh my god, I hate M1, so much noise. Yeah, essentially it was 25, 22. So this is not a trade I would take. Again, entry models and the strategy works, but for this, I would just ignore, okay? Just ignore this one. So yeah, on the results, then we need to delete 5%, deduct 5%, if that makes sense. So let's continue. Now I'm looking for sells, okay? Okay, price went down. Not a POI I would be looking, to be honest, even though it makes sense because it's within this H1 leg, but it's like the first one, no inducement, not clean flip. If I look left, there's no clean interaction to any kind of demand. Could easily be used as inducement for the POI above, okay? Not a POI I want to trade from. It is what it is. Price went from there. Okay, price moved down, and we have a new one. Actually, to be honest, no, I was saying something, but let's continue. So H1, this is Asia. Okay, so let's go to H4. Internally, I'll just mark, okay, this is even internal of internal, but I like to focus on the most recent price action. H4 here again, Of course, this is internal of internal, but we even boss bearish on H4, the swing. Okay, it's not very relevant, so I will not be here mapping this, but okay, H4 boss here, but for me, of course, this is H4 high and this is H4 low, but for me, this is still very significant. So because I'm a day trader or swing trader, I trade like M15 price action. Things that happen inside here still important, okay? Because I can take a winner moving up, a winner moving down, and price can still do whatever it wants. So I'll be focusing on the most recent price action. So after the break of structure and sweep major external range liquidity, H1 choke bullish, I can look for longs. I will wait for M15 entry model to present itself. Again, hope it's not confused, but essentially price broke external range liquidity, then choke bullish. Simple as that, okay? Let's see. Okay, price continue down. Okay, interest. I'll just delete this because I want to focus on this recent price action. To be honest, I'll be honest. For me, I know this is aggressive, but I like to be aggressive with this. So H1 change from this place to this place because we have a body close and it's formed through sweep. So I'm happy to assume this protected H1 leg will hold. And if it doesn't, it makes sense. That shows me that we are playing the bullish complex pullback of this leg back to the premium. Once the premium is mitigated, again, I assume price will move down. Okay. POI, let's mark the POI. So let's look for sells. Okay, so we have a fake break, okay? This is an inside bar, price choke bearish and then choke bullish, fake break completed. Now, for me, this is a PBL and this is up to you, okay? The PBL, price mitigate the demand and push higher. It actually did its job, but the EQ is not met yet, so I'm happy to use a little bit of discretion. And again, you don't even use, remember, you are not using this a few months ago and still trade and make profit. So the strategy still works. So if you want to be a little bit more aggressive because you like the area, of course, I don't saying for you just completely ignore, but you can be a little bit more aggressive and just read between the lines. Sometimes use your initiative and yeah, for me this PBL is still fresh, so I know it's more aggressive, okay guys, I really know it's more aggressive, and this is why trading can be 20%, 80% mechanical and 20% discretion, because if I'm going to be 100% mechanical, this PBL, and to be honest, even for myself, it's not, because it's not mitigated to the EQ, it's still valid. But I do understand the job is done, price push down, and then push up. We have the fake break, like I said. This becomes a PBL, price push down, push up. Did its job, perfect. So I shouldn't look to trade because I need to wait for a new entry model, liquidity entry model. But I'm reading between the lines because, like I said, first H1, absolutely extreme, was mitigated. So if this is going to hold, it's going from here. There's nothing more there, okay? First, always understand where we're coming from. Then second, essentially the PBL was not mitigated to the EQ, and I really like the fake break with the choke, so I'm happy to look to get involved. In terms of the POI selection, I want to see a buy to sell. Okay, so a buy to sell. These are two red candles. So at this moment, I need to take a decision. Should I take the entire range? Or should I be refined? To be honest, it makes more sense for me taking the entire range, because buy to sell, sell to buy. Even I could use this one, but it does not make sense. Buy to sell, sell to buy means that you are picking the range. So yeah, just reading a little bit between the lines here. And if you take a loss, I take a loss. It just makes sense for me. A very corrective move to the upside. So essentially, what we have: aggressive move, corrective move, impulsive move. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's a loss, but it just makes sense for me, at least. So time in. We'll move to break even here. Okay, move to break even here. Okay, at this point, break even activated. It is what it is. Price can do whatever it wants. I'll just go to H1 and play H1. Let me see. Price broke. Structure. Asia. Okay, I can go. Let me wait. Speed up a little bit. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So at this moment, what do we have? We have the leg, the H1 leg, okay, the new one. Here, let's mark here. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying because sometimes 5R is quite far, sometimes it's not, and price just tank, but stick to the method, it works, and I can see essentially I'll probably take a break even on this one, because we made a massive sweep of external range liquidity, even on the daily, okay, even on the daily, price mitigating this kind of demand. I don't know what is this, but and then it failed to reach the target, and we shift into order flow back bullish. Yeah, so I'll just mark this demand. For me, make a lot of sense. We have a shift here. So basically you are playing the bullish complex pullback of this leg, knowing it can follow through, because the low, the big low, was already taken out. Okay, if I go to the daily, you'll see, you saw when I went to the daily. So now I'll be looking for longs. Everything is mitigated unless it's this candle. So just I'll be looking for longs at this moment. Yeah, probably will take a break even on this one. Yeah, break even. This is what it is. Price run 4. The same as the other. Okay, if I use 4R as TP, I would have more for 8% at the moment. Okay, things that you need to consider. I'll be looking for longs. Let's see price mitigate this POI. Okay, oof. Let me see. Okay, price swept the high, so this low needs to hold. Okay, this low needs to hold, otherwise this major low is going to fail because it failed to take out the high. Okay, so now I'm looking for M15 entry models here. Again, something that this strategy can be annoying is that even though you are looking for longs, because I wait for an M15 price action, if you use for M1, you take the trade, I would miss the trade. Okay, no worries. And then we continue. Okay, so we bust bullish. Was bullish, perfect. And now, like I said, I just delete this to be clean, okay? If I go to H4, we even chalk bullish here on H4. So playing the bullish complex pullback of this most recently. Now let's go to look for longs. It's always the same stuff, guys. You can see how simple it is. Keep it simple, and yeah. So if I use all the confluence of this leg, will be interesting to play from this POI. It's at EQ. This is at the premium. It's not ideal. Yeah, for me it's not ideal. So I can see it's valid because it's trap liquidity. You have some kind of chain, right? Because this is an inside bar that's mitigated, and then this is the next one. So demand, okay. Price can just move to the upside. Let's continue. I'm not sure, okay? I'm not sure. Let's just finish this before continue to the next video, because we're 1 hour long, so so price swept low. Okay, we continue up. So guys, I will stop this video. I'll make a new one. Okay, just continue, just because I don't want to be 2 hours long. But yeah, see you on the other video, guys.